You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Good evening, outdoors. Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I'm Rodney Rogers. That is my partner, Cochise, and about to pull all his hair out in crime, Michael the Man Coy himself.
I just want tonight to be authentic.
You got, and it's starting out very
Conversational,
authentic.
relaxed, just you and me, buddy.
Smooth,
Deep
deep
breath.
breath, in and out.
Yeah, and I'd like to actually start off the evening by saying I'm sorry. I owe a sincere apology to my pants.
And what do we owe this apology for? We really owe it.
No, I've just been asking a whole lot of them lately.
Oh, okay, I got you. You know what? I'm with you. I'm with you.
And I don't give much back. You know?
Right.
They're always there supporting.
Hanging in
I
there.
don't wash them like I should, probably, you know.
If you want to participate in the show tonight, you can see our number right here at the bottom of the screen. I'm hoping somewhere around in there. You can give us a call at 262-345-7763. If you want to ask us a direct question live, we'll throw you on the air. If you want to shoot us a tweet via the Twitter,
Tweedledee.
the Twitter, you can shoot that right over to Mike at hashtag RROR that you'll see up there as well. And then, of course, you can go to our website, and there's a lot of goodies there. We have the leave a voicemail for us, and we'll play that on the air on the next show. It takes a little bit to get it. Just be part of the show. So check us out tonight, Mike. Weekend. Did you what did we do? Oh, well, you got to come see me.
Aw,
How awesome was that?
you were awesome.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I
You
didn't
were-
hear you. The mic was breaking up.
You were awesome.
Thank you so
Bass
much.
Pro Shop.
Yeah, we got to hang out at the Bass Pro Shop. We did. They invited us over to do some demos, and I want to say thank you to all the people that came out there.
Yeah, and just to be clear, they didn't really invite us. It was more you.
Yeah.
I went to
Okay.
see you. Yeah, they invited you.
I would have loved to seen you up there on that tank demo and what you've learned so far, though,
Let me
Mike.
show you something.
That would be awesome. So if you came out and saw us, that is awesome. I'm so glad you guys came out. We picked up some new viewers and listeners of the radio show. I noticed they saw us there and jumped up on the website, and now they're on our Facebook. And
Do you often have things bite? I know when you throw your hook or the lure into the tank, it's a hookless lure, right?
Right, yeah.
There's no hooks on them.
Yeah, there's no hooks on them.
Do they bite them often, though? Do they grab them and run with them? Or
You know what's funny, and it's I've been lucky enough that if I demonstrate a redfish bait, been lucky enough that only the redfish hit that bait. And if I'm demonstrating a bass bait, it's funny enough that only the bass hit that bait. And a lot of times in that tank, they'll hit either one. I mean, there's nothing stopping them. But my first demonstration over the weekend, I was demonstrating the redfish magic, which I love. And the redfish grabbed it and wouldn't let go of it. I mean, he just kind of drug it all over the tank. He's done that before. There's a big 20-pound redfish in there, and he's pretty stingy.
that's what people are waiting for.
They're waiting to see that, and when that works,
Yeah, and I mean it's cool that you can see the underwater action of the lure. I mean,
That's-
that's
yeah.
what you're demonstrating, so you can see.
that's
But,
exactly
but
right.
You're sure rooting for a fish to.
You
do
want
something.
them to makes what you're saying a little valid. You know what I mean?
Do you ever tell people that up front? That I mean, just so you know, I mean, a lot of people ask me, but there's no hooks on. I mean, do you ever explain that, or do you just assume people know that?
No, I don't actually, and it's hard to know because you don't know. I know when I first saw the demos there, I thought for sure they had hooks. I'm like, surely they do. They have hooks? I've seen them bite them, but I've never really seen them catch them. So yeah, if that's actually, maybe I'll add that in.
I mean, I suppose the avid fishermen who've been there, but I a lot of it's in tourist area.
Yeah,
I mean, they might not know, or
they're probably waiting
kids
to see
for
a lip
sure.
of fish.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to lip one of those 10-pounders.
Yank it out into the audience. That'd be exciting.
That would. We got to feed the fish. I got Nick up there to feed the fish with us Saturday. So we got to toss shiners out and minnows and and shrimp.
And they go after those, right?
Oh man, they rip those things out of the frame. Okay. Yeah, they definitely go after those.
How many fish do they have in that tank? Do you know, or how many fish and how many different species?
Well, they've got 4 species. They've got, or 5. They got bluegills. They've got 30 fish in the tank. They've got bluegills, speck, striped bass, or Florida's hybrid bass, largemouth, tarpon, and redfish. So there's 6 different species. Okay. And long-nosed gar.
I was going to say, I thought I saw gar in there.
Yeah, and Florida gar.
Okay.
So there's 8 species of fish.
Wow.
It's primarily, believe it or not, a saltwater tank. They keep the salinity real high that the bass can live in, and of course the tarpon and redfish can live in.
And I never even thought about that.
And that also keeps the parasites off the fish.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a mixture there. It's a pretty cool mix. They've definitely got it figured out there.
Okay.
So yeah, it's always a blast there. You talk about what you do, and we got to talk about Rodney Rogers Outdoors up there. This is the first time I've been up there as Rodney Rogers Outdoors, and for me that was really exciting.
That's a little bizarre, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think, as a matter of fact, one time I said, "Hey, I'm here with the Fishers of Men," because I did it for years.
Habit, yeah.
With Fishers of Men, and I wanted, it just like it came out, like, so.
Very cool. Well, you did a great job.
Well, thank you, man.
I don't know if I'd ever has the waterfalls always been there?
Yes.
For some reason, when we walked in, I'm like, I don't remember waterfalls, but then they turn it off during the demonstration so you can hear. But
that's exactly right.
You did a great job, though.
I wish we could turn it off upstairs, on and off. That way, when you're done with your demo, you don't have that uncomfortable silence.
Yeah. The music needs to fade back up and
right.
continue shopping, shoppers.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Exactly. So, yeah, it was a blast. Thank you for coming out. We sold a ton of fishing poles and lures, sold a ton of lures for them. I think we just about cleaned the racks out of the spinner baits and Zara spooks. So, it was a good time, man. It was a good time. So, we're going to be going back. I got to go back up a couple of weeks. They're doing the fishing extravaganza or something. So, I told him to give us a heads up. We'd love to do it again. And we'll get a bigger table this time. So, we'll actually take some extra stuff. So, we'll be back for sure.
I'm telling you, you need to get one of those air cannons with the T-shirts and shoot it down at the audience.
Straight down at a little kid. Just you watch him slide across the floor. That's your T-shirt, buddy.
Or you aim for the person not looking.
Oh, yeah.
I warned you.
Right, but it's coming.
How many times did I tell you?
You had the correct answer.
Attention.
But I didn't say anything. So yeah, that's always awesome. Can you see our alligator in the background? I mean, is that cool? Do we got to go? Oh yeah, I could see it in the screen.
See it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's our. It's what do we call him?
I thought you had a name. I thought you came up with it.
Did we? Osceola.
No, what was it?
No. We'll call him something. That is our alligator from Peter Updike.
Yeah, last week we had a guest kind of sitting in front of it.
Yeah, so he has a permanent spot.
That he does.
On Mike's shelf. We can't thank Peter enough. Matter of fact, we got turkey season coming up. Peter just sent me a text today. Hey, Rodney, we got birds. So we'll be hunting with Peter Updike. I'm going to try to get some footage of that on the 24th and 25th of March here. So next week, next Thursday and Friday, I will be hunting with Peter Updike. So
that's exciting.
I am more than excited. I'll tell you right now. So, Mike, anything exciting? What do we got? What you got?
So that's after next week's show.
That's after next week's show.
Okay. So
exactly.
It'll be 2 weeks where I'm sure we're talking turkey again.
Yes. Yeah. We'll definitely be talking turkey that following. Unless I don't get anything, then we'll be talking ham sandwich with
grilled cheese with tomato basil.
What tomato? We talking about gnarly barley again.
Oh, Rodney. Horseshoe crabs.
Yes.
FWC wants you to be a citizen science and help them monitor horseshoe crabs spawning on the beaches. There's a lot going on the beaches these days. It's turtle season, right?
It's turtle season.
I guess
full force. Yeah, we're coming.
Full force, yeah.
I mean, you're going to start seeing a lot of turtles at night, especially full moons.
I think we do. Maybe next week we consider heading straight to finding a turtle nest and doing a remote broadcast.
I'm absolutely all about it.
Interview some people.
Absolutely all about it. That is great.
Be cool. That would be.
Yeah.
I've never. You know what? We saw it once. I've seen it once.
Right.
when we were out kayak fishing last year.
Yes.
And all these people are on the beach, and we spoke about it after
Yeah.
that. But we didn't get up close.
We
were
got
already
to see
out.
one little turtle
Yeah.
out there swimming
So
by
I
himself.
would love to see see it up close.
The full hatch.
But also, it is horseshoe crab mating season. A ritual dating back millions of years takes place again this spring in the Florida beaches. Spring marks horseshoe crab mating season, and FWC wants the public to help identify the spawning sites. You'll have best luck spotting mating horseshoe crabs around high tide just before, during, or after a full moon. One of them was last week on March 9th. We've got another one coming up, full moon on March 23rd. Today is the 15th, so a week or so here we'll have another full moon, which creates the ideal opportunity to view the spawning behavior of horseshoe crabs. Mating crabs pair up with the smaller male on top of the larger female. Other crabs may also be present around the couple, which seems a little odd, but and you're asked to note how many you see and whether the horseshoe crabs are actually mating. Date, time, location, habitats, and environment conditions. But go to myfwc.com/contact and click on horseshoe crab nesting activities, and there's a form you can fill out and participate. Interesting though, through 2000, began in April 2002 and through 2015, the FWC has received 3,485 reports from across Florida, so people are participating.
That is the horseshoe crabs. They use there's a lot of uses, scientific uses. They use the blue blood in there, anticoagulants for a lot of medicines, pills, diabetes. There's just so many uses of these things.
I think, and that I'm glad you said that, Ronnie, because that you wonder, well, why there's so much more than meets the eye.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I saw a horseshoe crab, I reported it.
Right.
But you're exactly right. Horseshoe crabs, often called living fossils, are an important part of marine ecosystem. Their eggs are a food source for animals. Birds, such as red knots, rely on the horseshoe crab eggs to fuel their long migrations to the nesting grounds. And as you mentioned, they have also proved valuable to human medicine. Pharmaceutical companies use horseshoe crab blood to ensure intravenous drugs, and vaccine injections are bacteria-free and sterile. And scientists are also using horseshoe crabs in cancer research.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you know what? When you see a baby horseshoe crab, they're completely transparent. They look exactly like their mothers and fathers, but they are their shell is crystal clear. So it's hard to see them walking across the bottom of the ocean. It's absolutely amazing. They're as big as a silver dollar and just absolutely adorable when you see one. So when you walk through the water, just, in a horseshoe crab area, just pay attention because you'll squish the little fellers. But yeah, they're absolutely amazing. Yeah, definitely something to watch out for, and definitely report it, man. That's awesome when you be a part of something like that.
FWC is also recognizing record catch for lionfish.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Because they're really encouraging people to focus attention. This is an invasive species.
It's getting worse.
Which is exactly.
Yeah.
Which can damage the fish, the ecosystem. So they want them gone.
Yeah.
Says if it's over 477 millimeters, which is 18.78 inches, it very well could be the record fish. So it looks like about that 18, 19 inch.
That's a big fish.
That's a big lionfish.
That's a big lionfish.
On you. It says if you don't think you can catch one 18, 19 inches long, don't worry. You can qualify by both length in millimeters and weight for largest and smallest lionfish.
Okay.
They also have divisions for junior and hook and line.
Nice.
So you'll be recognized on the FWC website, receive prizes. Again, go to myfwc.com/lionfish. Click on state record programs.
And don't forget, like you said, we do have the nesting turtles here. They are starting to nest as we speak. They started around the 1st of March. They'll be real heavy actually from now till the 1st of June. When I say real heavy, you'll be seeing, turtles come in on the beach 10, 12 at a time. So
What would be the closest place to us?
Melbourne, Cocoa Beach. Cocoa Beach is loaded.
West Coast or primarily East Coast? I guess
Primarily
it would
East
be,
Coast.
yeah.
They do some nesting on the West Coast, but very minimal. Most of it's on the East Coast of Florida and the East Coast of Texas, and then of course, do we got a call coming in? No.
I don't know, do you?
Okay, it's just on. I thought it was coming in on the hotline.
I don't have a phone call coming in.
Okay,
You might.
It's not
but I
coming in
don't.
on the hotline. I just seen a number, and I'm
No,
like,
because I
uh-oh.
would hear boop, 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 boop,
Yes, okay, gotcha.
boop, 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 boop. If you did try to call again, because boop, 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 doop, didn't go
Yeah.
boop, 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 doop.
262-345-7763 is the number here. Give us a call back. Hey, Mike, what was I going to say? I just drew a blank. You ever just had a blank and you drew it?
Court.
I did. I drew it. I drew one. So, anyway, Mike, we got turtles everywhere. It would be nice to see those things. The little flippy floppy.
Do the flippy flop.
Do the flippy floppy. So, I did a little bit of fishing this weekend. Weather was not the best. Barometric pressure came in, pushed all the fish out. We did catch some, but nothing. I'm still chasing that proverbial one I can get into the.
What's your count? What's your count for the
My
year?
count now is 95 fish, so I'm still ahead of the game right now. I'm slacking. I didn't catch a lot of fish, so we're at 95. I did talk to Amy.
Oh, you did?
Yep, she's at like 120 for the year. So she's smoking me. There we go. That's the line.
My bad.
Yeah. Here it comes.
You want to answer? Is that what you want to do?
Let's do it. Thank you for calling Rodney Rogers Outdoors. This is Rodney.
Hey, are you doing a live show tonight?
Well, you're on it.
Well, it's not showing up on my side.
Oh,
Really? Where you at in Lake Wales?
This is Marie, yeah.
Yeah, I know who this is. This is my sister Marie. Okay. Well, if it don't go out live immediately, trust me, we'll have the full show up and at 'em.
Marie, try to close your browser and do it again.
Yeah.
All signs are going
I've
this
done
end.
it and done it, and it just gives me last week's.
Gosh, dang it.
Doggone it.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we've got a monitor over here watching it live, so it must be something.
We're going to send somebody to your house. Stand by.
We've got they're from India. It's going to take a minute. We got tech support coming directly from India to your house. Hello, please.
Hey, whoa.
All righty. Yeah, just reboot and see how that works. Because
All right.
we can say thank you so much for the call.
All right, love y'all. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
They're so sweet.
Directly from India, Mike, straight to the house. So that's always fun.
What are you going to do?
What was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. I just drew.
You were talking about the new tech support we've provided.
No, yeah. So fishing. So yeah, I spoke to Amy. She's doing it again this year. She's at 110 or 120. So what we're gonna do is I set it up to where we can give her a call, and we're gonna have her on the show in the next couple of weeks and see where the counts are. I'd like to get mine a little higher on the count before.
Thank Rick. We just got a text from Atlanta. I'm assuming Rick, you in Atlanta? You're here.
Yeah,
Says
Rick's in-
he's seeing it fine. So
Okay.
restart that browser there, Maria, and try it again.
Yeah, give it a shot. So yeah, it's I want to have more fish than her.
I wish you would call.
Yeah,
We need to get her on the show. I mean, even via.
yeah.
have her
I
call
told
in.
her I'd.
How many is she at this year? If you're at 95, you're at 95. So you are ahead of the game.
Yeah, I'm ahead of the game. But I'm
Thank you,
chasing.
Todd.
I'm trying to chase big fish.
Okay.
So that count kind of goes down because I catch less fish.
Yeah, but you're closing in. Well, you're halfway through March.
Yeah, so I'm a little ahead of the game.
You build up a buffer that weekend we were out.
Exactly.
So how many is Amy at?
She's at 110, 115, I think she said.
Does she see? We need to get her on because
Yeah.
I'm curious if she's fishing around. Is it a couple
Well,
of lakes primarily?
Yeah,
that
she has. She said she has a honey hole she goes to
Yeah.
that she can put a lot of fish in. 10, 12 at a time. So, she even says, "Well, if you don't reach your goal, come see me, and we'll take you to the spot." And Mike, that hurts.
That does. I can see why it would.
Yeah, that hurts. She's awesome though. So, She had actually texted me a picture. You know, I had a couple texts over the week. A couple messages via Facebook of one was a recording of the back of a lake, and it was, "Hey Rodney, this is this a gator or a frog or what is this?" And it's just a frog going, "Merp, merp." It's a big bullfrog.
Oh, it's just the sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you see the video of the lake, and then poof,
Yeah.
you know, he's. They were a little afraid it was an alligator, but no, it's definitely a frog.
Wow.
Yeah, and I said if you heard that for like 10 or 15 seconds straight, then we're talking something different. But, yeah, you're in good shape. So that was pretty cool.
Let me read this week's FWC Law Enforcement Story of the Week.
Let's
That
do it.
was interesting. Officer Martinez was on land patrol in the area south of the Skyway Fishing Pier. While on patrol, he performed a fisheries inspection. I guess that's what they call it when they're...
Fisheries inspection, yeah.
That's when you need to be on your toes.
You don't want to be a part of that if
Yeah.
you can help it.
Performed a fisheries inspection on a group of men fishing at the very end of the pier. During the course of the inspection, how many times? Officer Martinez found that the men possessed 15 undersized mangrove snapper. The two men were both given one criminal citation for possession of undersized mangrove snapper and one written warning for over the bag limit. Mangrove snapper have to be at least 10 inches to possess, and the bag limit is 5 per person per day.
Wow, are you
Thanks,
serious?
thanks. Left me hanging there.
No, I was trying to find, yeah.
But mangrove, I guess that's the gray snapper.
I should really pay attention that way. Yeah, mangrove snappers, now mangroves get pretty big, but when you're fishing inshore, like in the mangroves, you know, average, you know, this is average is 10 to 12 to 14 inches.
Okay.
And you catch so many,
And it's different for, this is one of those fish, it's different for each coast.
Exactly.
At least as of this snapshot in time.
right.
Gulf of Mexico's 10 foot. 10 foot.
That's a big fish. That's
But
actually
that's the minimum.
right.
10 and above.
It's actually
That's
a,
all yours,
a
baby.
whale.
That's all yours. Yes, the Gulf of Mexico
called
is,
the mangrove
is
whale.
10 inches.
Yeah.
5 per person with the 10 snapper aggregate bag limit. What does that mean?
So,
What's the aggregate bag limit?
That's just your overall bag limit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Atlantic waters is 10 inches.
Yeah. Are they the same on the Atlantic side as they
Yeah,
are?
it is actually.
Okay.
I was thinking it was different, but it says 5 per person within the 10 snapper aggregate. I don't understand.
Aggregate
This
means
is all like some different language.
yeah, you can have other snappers in with your bag limit that can count as
Because
snappers.
sometimes I
yeah.
thought, oh, you know what? Let me dig more into snapper bag limit.
Right.
And sometimes it's more confusing
right.
because it
Yeah.
leads to more questions like aggregate bag limit. Because it says this. This is the uneducated mind reading the FWC website.
Okay.
5 per person within the 10 snapper aggregate bag limit. That's in the Gulf of Mexico. But then I look down, okay, what's in the Atlantic? And it says 5. It says state. There's state and federal differences here, I guess.
Yes, there is.
That's probably why.
Yep.
So 5 per person within the 10 snapper aggregate bag limit. And the federal is 10 per person within the 10 snapper.
Now that's when you're 3 miles out.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
That's the limit.
yeah,
No,
three or more miles.
Federal waters is 3 miles offshore. right?
Exactly. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
it's
there's a
deeper
difference.
waters, a lot more. Replenish a lot faster out there, so you can usually keep more of your limit.
It also said gear rules require that circle hooks and dehooking to be used in Gulf waters reef fisheries.
Gulf waters. The key word here is Gulf. You can still use J hooks on the Atlantic side, but it's wise to use. Here's the problem: the J hooks hook inside the stomach real deep. So if you have a fish that's too small, you got to cut the line. Now you have a hook down deep inside.
Now, J hook is your typical hook we're talking about.
Right, your typical hook.
And so a circle hook is
It's actually a little deeper on the J. It's like a real wide J, and the tip comes almost right back to the hook. So what happens is you don't have to set the hook. you start reeling, and if they've swallowed that hook, it comes out of their stomach very smoothly and just catches in their lip.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So 99% of the time, you can actually hook them in the lip versus in the stomach, and the fish survives. That's the key. And just going to the circle hook has saved so many fish.
So in the Gulf, the circle hook's required, is not required in the Atlantic side, but a de-hooking tool is required on both sides.
Yeah.
In the,
That's so when you have that deep hook down in there, you can reach down in and,
and it's all about preserving the fish, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it's all about preservation of the fish. That's exactly right.
But again, this is the part that intrigues me and fascinates me every time is the details and knowing it's more than just I got a fish on the line, wahoo.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's all these little things that, again, this is where a guide can really help save you. But
absolutely,
I don't think some of them even know sometimes because they're getting busted just as much as
anymore.
Anymore, it seems like it.
That's exactly right. Do we have letters, Mike?
Rodney,
yes.
I'm glad you asked. We've got letters.
You've got mail.
Letters. We get letters. We get
Stop. Whoa, yes. Wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
Send me an email with all the details.
Another freaking email. Another freaking email song.
mail time.
Mail time. The mail's here.
Yeah, I'm a top flight. Hold you tight. Get you there by daylight. Do you ride overnight mail?
All right, Rodney. Question number one. We got some good questions tonight. This is Jeff from Orlando, Rodney. He would like to know, outside of the size of a bass. Nope, that's not it.
Okay. Outside.
Outside. I had the wrong graphic up, but the right question. Outside of the size of a bass, is it possible to tell the age of a fish, of a bass?
Yeah,
can you tell the age?
Yeah, you can kind of guess. But there's only a couple ways that you can 100% guess the age, and one is to pull a scale, which is that thing I was telling you I want to get into. Start keeping one scale off of my bass that I catch and do my own research and look at age versus pond and that stuff like that. And the other way is the olith bone. It's actually inside the head. So when you harvest the fish,
What about teeth?
no, you can't do it by teeth. There's only two ways. It's scales and the olith bone, which is actually the ear bone inside their head. And there's a ring. It's like a tree ring. There's a ring per year. They can tell what they're because the bass grows at certain temperatures, usually 65 to 70 degrees, 75 degrees. It's their growing time. So when the water gets colder, their growing slows down, so the rings get thicker.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
So they
Sure it
count
does.
the thick rings, and they go, okay, 1 winter, 2 winter, 3 winter, 4 winter,
The olith bone.
The olith bone is the 100% way to age a fish.
Okay.
The scales can do the same thing, but they're not quite as accurate, but they're pretty close.
Is the olith bone something you can see when you're cleaning a fish?
Yeah, no, you have to get down deep inside the head.
But could you?
Yeah, you could, absolutely. You
I mean,
could.
typically the head comes off.
Right, because remember a couple weeks ago we talked about giving the snook carcass over to the FWC. This is what they look for. They grab the olith bone out. They grab, their stomach contents and they measure it, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the age of this fish. Did it survive 10 winters ago or how long? So yeah, that's what they're looking for. That olith bone.
Okay.
There's so much information in that bone.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really. I mean, if you see a small,
But you said by gators they grow at a consistent rate
Right.
up until a certain age. Are bass the same?
No,
Or not necessarily.
no. Bass just grow by temperature.
Okay.
So when you see a little 6-inch bass, you probably guess that's a 1-year bass, year and a half.
But you're
maybe.
just guessing.
You're
still
just guessing.
Yeah.
And then of course, because bass live in the wild up to about 10, 11 years. So you can almost guess that a 10-pound bass it's a pretty old female.
Okay.
She's 10. They've lived a little bit longer.
Okay.
But yeah, on average.
Well, let's move on because we got
do it.
a good topic tonight I want to talk about. Devin from Kissimmee, Florida, Rodney says, does a concealed weapons permit cover you for all types of guns?
Yes, and knives and sticks.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not concealed firearm. It is concealed weapon.
You just kind of mentally
I
equate it to.
I just kind of threw you in a whole nother level there, didn't I?
Yeah, I had no clue.
It allows you to conceal things like there's certain pepper sprays and maces. There's certain knives that you can conceal, and billy clubs. You can conceal a billy club. So there's a list that you can of things that you can conceal. And of course, many guns.
Well, back to Devin's question. Then, is it true that handgun versus automatic weapon?
Remember,
machine gun?
Yeah, fully automatic weapons are illegal unless you have a permit for it.
Okay.
And I don't know where that law falls that you can actually, if you have a permit for your fully automatic weapon, can you carry it concealed?
Okay.
It's actually a valid question. It's a little bit deeper than
Okay.
any part I've reached.
Okay.
But I'm just going to go on an assumption, and you know what that means. I would say you probably could. Don't hold me to it.
Okay.
But you may not. Someone may know better than me, and I'll probably get an email going, "You dummy, you can't." So
you covered yourself. And
we don't know. You better know the laws, and of course that's our topic tonight,
Yeah.
and we're gonna get into some do's and don'ts and such what's have yous and what's nots.
One more question before
Let's
your
hit it.
wash nosh. Terry from Pompano Beach, Florida says, Rodney, what's your favorite crankbait and why?
I have here's my favorite crankbait. It's actually a little fat wrap. It's called a fat wrap made by Rapala. And one of the reasons, and they make it with different bill depths. With a crankbait, the bill on it determines the depth of the crankbait.
Okay.
And remember, when you're throwing a crankbait, line makes the difference and your pole makes the difference. You need a long pole, thin line to get your bait, your crank at its optimal depth. But I choose this crankbait because it goes up to 6 feet. Most Florida lakes are pretty shallow. Grass usually starts around 4 or 5 feet. So you can keep that little crankbait, right at the top of that grass, and you can hit stumps and stuff. So little fat wrap is my my rapper name back in the day when I was a kid. But no, the little Rapala fat wraps are just phenomenal. I've got several.
Okay.
I've got them in every depth, and I've got that fat wrap in every color.
Okay.
So yeah, I love it.
Very cool.
There you have it.
Fat wraps.
Fat
Is that with
wrap.
the PH? Fat with the PH?
No, that'd be the cool fat wrap.
So tonight we're going to talk about what? Some do's and don'ts of concealed weaponry?
Yeah, we're going to talk about some 5 do's and don'ts. And actually, you and I were talking about this. We were doing our little get-together, what to talk about. And we came across the site that came across the best do's and don'ts. It's the USCCA. We'll put the link up on our website. And I say we very loosely. I mainly mean you because you're the man. Actually, I could put this on Facebook, and you could put it on the website. How's that? We'll share responsibilities on this one. What I've learned over the years having a concealed weapon, it's pretty scary. I mean, it really is. I know when I got my first concealed weapons license, it was right around the 1990s range. So, we'll get into some do's and don'ts. Are we going to go to commercial, or do you want to go right into? You just want to just chew on it?
Do you want a commercial?
That's up to you. Totally up to you. You make that decision. 3, 2, 1.
With 116,000 foreclosures in the state of Florida alone as of January 2014, a quality contractor is critical to the process of returning a foreclosed house back into a home. Let me introduce you to Phillips Contracting Incorporated. They are Florida State certified and an approved REO repair vendor for both Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. PCI currently provides multi-level services to realtors, banks, asset managers, and private homeowners. Although they specialize in dealing with REO property repairs, they are a design-build company.
Here at PCI, we pride ourselves on professional, high-quality work. Our clients know that we're not your typical contractor. We're proud to be reliable, trustworthy partners with you. Our repair coordinators are ready to communicate with you honestly and quickly about every aspect of your project. We're here to say yes to our clients.
Phillips Contracting services Florida from Orlando to Miami. Whether you're looking for a quote, repair updates, or just want to talk business, give them a call at 941-483-3800.
Gnarly barley
Come see why the whole world's singing. No,
What are you doing?
dude, I am writing a song for Gnarly Barley.
I see that, but first of all, I didn't realize you could sing. Second of all, why don't you just tell the people how great the Gnarly Barley is, give them the address, and move on with the show?
Dude, have you ever had their flatbread? Their jalapeno flatbread with the cream cheese on top and the chicken and the special sauce on it. Holy moly. No, wait a minute. Obviously, by the look on your face, you ain't never had that big time Fiesta. Jalapenos, provolone cheese, tomatoes, red onions, and again, Fiesta lime.
Okay, that's it. Shut up, Chubb. We're out of here.
Are you serious?
Come on, we're out of here.
Truly one of Orlando's hidden gems, the Gnarly Barley offers a contemporary selection of bites and brews, serving a mind-blowing selection of craft beers and original mouth-watering menu creations. The Gnarly Barley and its incredibly accommodating staff have created a place that really is difficult to put into words. So do yourself a huge favor and come see why people are singing the praises of the Gnarly Barley.
Oh, my goodness.
I told you that big time Fiesta.
That is phenomenal. I totally get why you're trying to write a song for that.
Not as simple as you thought, huh?
No. Okay, check this out. Gnarly Barley.
Come see why the whole town's singing. Gnarly Barley. Buy some brews.
Located at 7431 South Orange Avenue in Orlando, Florida.
All right, tonight we are talking about concealed weapons, concealed weapon permits, the 5 do's and don'ts. We're going to start with do number 1. Do be on time for the second half of the show, because it really leaves somebody just kind of hanging out there. What? Are you late? No, you're good. You're good.
Are you talking to yourself?
Yeah, we're at do number 4 already, Rodney.
Okay. I am so sorry. Are we short on commercials? So we have open spots if you want to spot in our show.
Thanks for the coffee, Rodney.
You're
It
welcome.
was worth it. You can be as late as you want if you're bringing coffee.
So we're going to talk about some do's and don'ts, man. And what I mean by do's and don'ts, these are just simple rules that you really don't think about. They're so simple. Carrying a firearm with you in a concealed situation is a serious. There's a lot of things you have to keep in mind, and we're going to kind of go over those right now. Just because you got them doesn't mean you're 100% safe. Just because you got it doesn't mean nothing in the world is going to go wrong. It can even go wrong when you're by yourself. I mean, I've made misfires in my own firearm.
Now, first of all, getting your concealed weapons permit allows you to, in a nutshell, what does that allow you to do? Why do I want to get a concealed weapons? And first of all, I helped pick this topic, but I'm thinking, is this a weird topic for an outdoors show?
Right. I don't think so.
I mean, obviously, people who deal with firearms
are outdoors.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's kind of in the realms of it, and here's why most people get a concealed weapons license, mainly to carry a firearm for protection. And then you're laughing. What do we got? What's coming in on the hotline? I got to hear this one.
Rodney's never late. He's just always right around the corner.
It's got to be.
Rodney's the one Rodney's Rodney taught me this. You're not really sure when you're going to be there. You get a text from Rodney that says, "Hey, I'm running 15 minutes late, and if I'm not there in 15 minutes, just read this text again."
Precisely. That is my new text, by the way. I'm going to steal that, Mike. I'm totally stealing it.
But you're not required a concealed weapons permit to hunt, right?
No.
I mean, at what point is it a concealed weapon? So why a concealed weapons
Great
permit?
question. A concealed weapon is basically a firearm or a weapon that is of danger to someone that they cannot see. So basically, here, let me put it in a nutshell. We're running you through a gamut of background checks. That way, when you do carry a weapon that no one can see, you're not the guy going to hit him over the head with a billy club, stab him with a knife, or shoot him. You're just not going to randomly do that. May you flip out one day and do it. You know what? Takes all kind of people to make the world go around.
Yeah.
You know, I've said it for years. So we're just going to ensure, we're going to give ourselves a little peace of mind by, you know, fingerprinting you, going through background checks and all those locations. So when you do carry your weapon, we know we've done our due diligence of saying Mike Coy is a safe guy. You know, so yes, there's no reason why he cannot carry a weapon.
Okay.
Now, I still believe that if it was open carry, I mean, concealed carry scares people. We probably walk by hundreds of people every day that have concealed weapons. We have no clue. Would I feel any better if I could see the weapon, or would I feel better if I can't see the weapon? That's always going to be a subjective question.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, I like to know what's around me. So, personal, whatever. A bad guy is always going to have a concealed weapon. He's never going to carry it out in the open, even if it is open carry.
So a concealed weapons allows you just that, to conceal a weapon.
It has to be concealed. Concealed weapons, when you have it on you, better be 100% concealed, or you're breaking the law. You cannot carry open when you have a concealed weapon.
Can I get an open weapons permit?
No. The only time you can carry open in the state of Florida is for 3 reasons. You're going fishing, you're going hunting, or 4 reasons. You're going camping and or to the gun range. You can carry to and from with an open weapon, and that is the only time. So, you know, I've posted that statute, and I'll do it again just so everybody has it. You don't want, this is a fine line you really don't want to be on the wrong side of. The laws are shaky at best when you split that line between concealed weapon and not. Anytime you are carrying concealed, you better have your license on your person.
So if you're going into the mindset of you're going to get your concealed weapons permit and you have a reason to do so, you better really pay attention to what the rules are, because you're actually opening yourself up
to
for much more liability.
Yes, the more you learn, the more you know, the better off you are. You know, so let's get it.
So let's really clearly, we got, correct me if I'm wrong, 5 do's and don'ts
that are
of concealed. What's the right terminology? It's not of having your concealed weapons permit, of concealed carrying?
Concealed carrying. And
is that a fair statement?
That is absolutely a fair statement, because you may be a knife guy and want to carry. Here's a concealed knife. My hunting knife, that big Bowie knife, you know, that got me good right there. If I carry that on my person up under my shirt, that is a concealed weapon because the blade is longer than 6 inches.
You better have a permit.
You better have a permit. You know what I mean?
It's very interesting.
So these are the things that you have to know. If I had a long hunting shirt on, technically, and you can't see that knife, and the cop sees the tip of it, and he goes, "Hey, what's under your shirt?" And I go, "Hey, it's my hunting knife." Technically, because of the length of the blade, it's a concealed weapons. And if I didn't have a concealed weapons license, it could get really ugly really fast.
Okay.
And I'm on the end of the burden of proof saying that I wasn't carrying this in the store, because when we went camping, I had my knife on me, you know. And
right.
Now it was out in the open, you know. So I mean, it's man, there's a lot of gray area there, and you don't want to be on the bad end of the gray area.
Sure.
You know, on the other side.
Okay, Rodney. We start with the do's or the don'ts?
We're going to start with the do's.
Do number 1.
Let's start with the do's. So we're going to go. Be aware. Now that entails being alert, being willing, having a good attitude, being ready, and being even-tempered.
Okay.
The one thing you have to understand when you carry that firearm is you have the potential to change your life and someone's life forever. That is the key. Be alert. You need to watch your 360 all the way around. Be alert of people coming, people going. You know the whole gamut of things. Suspicious activity. You know, I'm not saying be a private eye. I'm just saying just keep your eyes open.
Be aware of your surroundings.
Just be aware of your surroundings. The whole spiel. And when you carry concealed weapons and you're doing it for protection, and nowadays you got people doing the knockout game. I mean, there's so much coming at you so fast. it can catch you off guard, especially when you have family members with you. This, and part of that be aware is be willing. You need to be willing to do whatever it takes to do to survive a lethal attack. Now, what I mean by that is you're carrying concealed weapons. If all heck breaks loose, and you got to have the mindset to be willing to, exterminate whatever that threat is. You have the potential to shoot and kill someone. Are you ready for that? That's what you got to be willing for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you willing to protect that? Or you have family members with you. You have a child with you. You have to be willing to protect that whole environment, or just leave. You have to be willing to leave if it's you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
It's not that you have to draw your weapon. Sometimes you just have to avoid the situation.
So alert, willing,
and be ready.
Okay. I guess it's interesting because when you go into the concealed weapons arena, you are moving from you're moving from a outdoors hunting thing to a self-defense.
Right.
I mean, it's protection at this point.
Right.
It's weapons for the purpose of protection.
And remember, you're not a law enforcement officer. If you're in a situation you're not comfortable with, a store's being held up, just because you have a handgun does not obligate you to defuse the situation. Yeah. If you're not comfortable with it, shut your mouth, get on the floor like you're told to do, and let this go down. Yeah. Some people have that in them, and some people don't. Do I? I won't know unless I'm put in that situation.
That's an interesting point.
I'd like to think that I'd be able to make a level-headed decision and save everybody from danger, but it may be a point where there may not be a shot, and I may just have to lay down and shut my mouth.
Yeah.
So there again, be willing to walk away.
Okay.
And be ready. A gun will do you no good if you're not ready. If you're not prepared yourself mentally and in a physical motion. Just because you have it on your side doesn't mean you know how to have it in a ready position. Shirt's hanging over it. Do you lift your shirt first? Do you, there's some.
And I would suppose ready just in a comfort factor.
Yes, in a comfort factor.
Being comfortable with your weapon, how to use it, being very intimate with the operation of your weapon, your gun, whatever it may be. Is a comfort and as a ready state.
Exactly. You hit it right on the head. Be even tempered. Now, all this is following under the be aware, the number one that I'm going over with you.
It's like 5 and 1 then.
Yes.
It's like a bonus.
Yeah, we're getting like a bonus.
Number one's the bonus one.
You mustn't be impulsive, angry, or rash. These qualities do not go together with carrying a gun. If you're the guy who gets road rage, bail out. You do not. There are people who are not ready for concealed carry.
The even tempered might be the most important of all, maybe. If you have the right temperament, you might want to just
people look at you
shy
and go,
away from
what are you afraid? What are you so afraid of? You know that you got a gun. Well, that's just it. I carry a gun. I'm not afraid. I'm very even tempered.
Yeah.
I just want to move through life smoothly, and that's all you want to do. So be even tempered. So number 2, you want to jump on number 2?
Do number 2.
Be invisible. This means that you do not want to draw unwanted attention to the fact that you have a firearm. You're moving through the crowds. You're basically invisible. Also, do your best to avoid hot spots. Hot spots meaning bad places you really don't need to be.
Okay.
Those are the hot spots. That's where hot-headed people tend to hang out, bars late at nights and the wrong streets. Just where those are at. Stay away. You don't want to have to draw your weapon. So that's number 2. Be invisible.
Okay.
That's the key. You don't show off. Number 3, know your equipment and practice with it regularly. How long have I been saying that one?
Yep.
I mean, that one is absolutely critical. If you're not, intimately acquainted with your equipment, and I'm talking your holster, your gun, your bullets loading and unloading, you need to know how to be able to operate that smoothly and efficiently, especially when it comes to an emergency. If you've got this thing done, you load, unload, and every single day you're doing something. Like when I come in, I carried my gun in my truck since I was 16. Every day I come in the house, I unload it, and I put it down, and I do my thing. So I could do it at night. I could do it blindfolded. I could do it dark. I can have a blindfold, take my gun completely apart, put it back together in just literally seconds. I can have a jam and work through it with,
Sure.
blindfolded. So that's the kind of thing. So Know your equipment and practice with it regularly. That's number 3. Number 4, practice safe gun handling. Never put your stupid finger in the trigger. Guns are dangerous. Always handle them with a focus on safety. Go through the 10 safety, measures. Keep your pointer, never point at anything you're not willing to destroy. Keep your gun pointed in a safe direction. Never put your finger on the trigger. I mean, these are all the safety things that you need to instill in your brain and anybody around you that you know has a gun. Can you still, even though you're 100% safe, discharge a firearm accidentally? Yes, you can. Does not make you a bad person. What makes you a bad person is if your finger's on the stupid trigger pointing in the wrong direction and you shoot somebody.
Almost safety nets. If you're practicing all of these and something goes wrong, like I say, incidentally shoot, and you're not pointing it towards something you're willing to destroy, as you put it. You covered yourself. So
yeah,
think on all these terms. Just don't work on one of them.
That's exactly right. Point your gun in a safe direction. I know because I've done it.
Yeah.
It's scary every time. So, number 4, practice safe gun handling. Number 5, know the laws and always carry your license to carry with you. Never be without it, ever. That's as important. That's more important than having. You can't expect to not have your wallet and go, I'm wearing my gun anyway because, I'm on the beach. Well, you can't expect the police department to look up that it's not your driver's license. This is issued to you through the Department of Agriculture or your fisher license. Yeah. It's a whole nother department that they don't always have access to. So have that license with you, period. I can't even beat that through your head. Ignorance of the laws, no excuse. I know there's a ton of laws out there. They're all confusing. Blah, blah, blah. You're carrying that weapon. You better know where you're allowed to be and not allowed to be. That's just, hands down, that's just the way it goes.
Not much gray area in this one, is there?
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There really is. So, and honestly, since I've had my concealed weapons license, I've not carried it yet. I'm still not threw it on me and, been places. I carry it in my truck the way I always have.
Right.
I just do. Now, I'm sure if I get to a place where I really don't want to leave it in my truck, I'll throw it on me, in a place where, but you don't want to be on the defensive end trying to defend yourself in a court of law when you goofed up and you went somewhere you're not supposed to be. So I'm taking, little classes here and there, trying to learn little things here and there from credible places, not from your buddy saying, yeah, this bar lets you bring it in there because, they're just nice people. No, you cannot carry your firearm into a bar, period. You can't do it. So you can be charged with a felony if you do that, and it's all over. So that's your 5 do's. Yeah. Well, let's go into the 5 don'ts of intellectual carry. Don't be impulsive. Impulsiveness and guns do not mix. It's like mixing guns and drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
If you cannot control your aggressive impulses or your rage, you probably shouldn't carry a gun, and that kind of goes without saying. You need to keep your cool head. Hot heads get in trouble all the time, and you add a gun to that mix, you're only making it worse. You must learn to stop, think, and act appropriately. That, I shouldn't even go in the rest of the don'ts. That should just end it right there. Think appropriately. And it may be just leaving. You're not a superhero. You're not Captain America. You're not here to save the world. So your viral video of you doing something really stupid may be you going to prison for 15 to 20 years. Because if you discharge that weapon in a situation that you are not allowed to discharge it in, you're just as guilty as the guy robbing a bank with a gun or holding up a store.
Sure.
If that makes any sense. Use your head. If you get road rage driving down the road, come on, you're not ready for a gun. Anger will put you in places that your mind don't even know. So, keep a level head. Voila. That's number 1. Ready for number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2. Don't advertise for your favorite gun manufacturer. Don't let people know that you're carrying what you're toting, and even if you are carrying, you don't want anyone to have the drop on you. You want to retain the element of surprise. Your trump card. If you want to advertise for your favorite gun manufacturer, apply for a PR job at the firearms industry. You know where that's going?
Yep.
Yeah, I carry a Glock. Check this out. Winger, winger, winger. Some guy a block over can see you with a firearm and call the law. And I seen it happen to a guy. I was in the gym a few years ago, and I'm working out, and he's riding his motorcycle. Now, he was a police officer, out of clothes, but he always carried his weapon. His shirt flew up on his handgun on his way to the gym. The car beside him saw the shirt flapping, and they seen the gun, and they saw where he pulled into the gym. They called the law. We're in there talking. He's working out, and 9 sheriffs walk in.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and they went right to him, and, half of them knew him. They're like, "Oh, it's you,"
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
This one is the opposite of the do be invisible.
Yes.
Right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You're not a PR person for the gun manufacturer. Don't brag about your gun. Period. Yeah, I carry a Heckler and Koch. Save that for the range. Brag at the range.
Number 3.
Very important, and I know people that'll do this. Do not develop gun courage. Okay? Have you ever heard of that canned courage? Have you ever heard of anything good coming out of it? No. And similarly, gun courage is destructive. Never think you should go anywhere with a gun unless you have no other choice. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Where you would not dare to go without one, we do not carry to intimidate, the only reason you would carry to intimidate in a violent crime into finding something to do other than praying. Oh, wait a minute. We do not carry to intimidate, except to intimidate a violent criminal into finding something to do other than preying on us. Okay, so basically what it's saying is we're not there to intimidate. We want to intimidate criminals to keep from preying on us. That's our intimidation.
Yeah.
You suddenly, just because you got a gun, saying, I'm going to walk right down the middle of this bad area that you know's bad, and I've got the right to be here. Well, these guys are felons with guns. They don't care what your right is.
Yep.
They don't have that right, so they could care less. See what I'm saying? So don't develop gun courage. This one is pretty important. Number 4, don't ever lose your gun. Hold on to your gun. Practice sound weapon retention. You cannot afford to lose your gun. And here's a prime example. I went into a Home Depot bathroom with my firearm the first time I had it in the 90s. And, man, did I have to go to the restroom. So I get in the stall, and when my pants hit the floor, my gun slid into the next stall. You know what I mean? So the guy just slowly took his foot, kicked it back to me, nice and slow. He just like doink, doink, and my gun comes sliding back. Needless to say, I didn't get to use the bathroom. I just pulled my britches up, put my gun back in my holster, and I left the store to avoid the confrontation.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I was legal, and that was perfectly legal. It was just you get so complacent with having your gun, you often forget you got it.
Yeah.
And you go into stupid situations such as using the bathroom, your gun slides across the floor. That guy could have easily have grabbed it and ran off with it, and now I have a stolen gun, out there in the field. So,
yeah, you mentioned complacent. Seems like something you don't want to do.
Yep. Mike, number 5, do not become complacent. This gentleman has written, about the dangers of complacency in a previous issue.
Sure.
It bears repeating. Complacency and false confidence can spell RIP. Don't rest your hands on laurels. Shooting is a perishable skill, so practice regularly, and that is very true. Do not neglect to maintain or carry guns. Inspect and clean them regularly. Don't be the guy whose carry pistol accumulates several ounces of lint and greasy mush, and don't develop false confidence because you are armed. Complacency, it works in 1,000 different ways. Prime example, my aunt has carried since I can remember. We got our concealed weapons license at the same time in the 90s. Now, she's always kept hers up to date. The first time around, they were only good for 3 years. The second time, they were good for 5. Now they're good for 7. She has had hers and renewed it every year. I didn't. Wasn't comfortable carrying. And I've carried guns all my life.
Also, I think it's purpose-driven, though, isn't it? I mean, that's what we're finding out.
For women, it's probably they are more likely to be attacked than men. So she gets on the airplane with my uncle, and they are 30,000 feet, and she looks at my uncle and says, "Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
I still have my gun in my purse." So, and this was after the 9/11 incident. So, she is now
She should have just taken it and ran it straight up to the
to
pilot.
the pilot.
And said, I got a confession.
You know what? I don't want to let.
No, you don't. Hear me out.
Here, no, it's not like that.
I-
So yeah, so that's complacency. You know, that's another form of complacency. You just forget you got it. It's
Yeah.
with you all the time. And you walk into a government building and they scan it, poof.
Yeah. And complacency, again, you just get used to and assume a lot, and you get sloppy with your procedures, with everything you've talked about, your safety.
I've done it.
You know, safety bullet points, and
I've done it. I mean, you know, we've got a video out there of me misfiring with me and you.
Yeah.
You know, it happens. It really does. So it's easy. It's a big responsibility. We're going to post these so you can read them yourself and do a little more research on it.
Yeah, no, we found these 10 tips, 5 do's and don'ts on what U.S. Concealed. What's the name of the website? I want to make sure we're giving them credit.
Actually, the U.S. concealedcarry.com, and it's right on the front page, and it's intelligent choices for the concealed carry, 5 do's and don'ts. The whole site is actually awesome. I got to plunder through here.
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of great reading. If you're gonna be carrying a concealed weapons, you know, it's a giant responsibility. So,
I think it's a good topic.
Of course, it's one of those topics we can do a 2 or 3 hour.
But it is interesting. I kind of batted it back and forth, going, "Well, is this really a topic we want to take on?" But again, if you're a hunter, chances are you've got a weapon and you're hunting with it. But my purpose of even considering a concealed weapons permit is almost just for the knowledge,
right?
Because I'm assuming a lot of what they do during the course is tell you what you can and can't do, the laws, so you know that where you can carry, where you can't carry,
right.
And you should know this either way, especially if you don't have concealed weapons, you're wondering the same questions. I mean, if you're handling and carrying a gun or transporting a gun, which if you're a hunter, you are.
Absolutely.
So, like you say, you don't want to get caught innocently doing something that could be a felony.
Right. And you could.
I mean, you don't want to get caught guiltily doing a felony either. It's even worse.
Definitely,
I think,
it's even worse.
Innocent.
Yeah. I always put it in the adage of you would rather have it than not need it, than need it and not have
knowledge
it.
is power.
Exactly.
I heard.
Exactly. Someone said that. Yeah, I can Google that real quick.
But just the understanding, the deeper you can understand and get into a subject and know what your parameters are, especially when it comes to the law. I mean, this is serious stuff. Serious stuff as far as, and not just getting in trouble, but the safety aspect of it. Like you say, you can destroy lives
instantly
once you take on the responsibility of having a gun or possessing a gun.
Yep.
So, well, we've a little sneak preview.
Okay.
Sneak peek.
Let's talk about it.
We have been working for a little while now on. Yeah, you go, Rodney.
For having a concealed weapons class. So, what we want to do is extend the invitation. We've got a ton of emails. This week, we're going to be putting up a link to where you'll be able to sign up. And I will tell you that this is very limited. The class will be limited to 15 to, we might could squeeze 17, but
no.
Rodney. Okay, 15. Fine, Mike. Everybody, if you're mad, email Mike at rodneyrogers.outdoors.com. So the class is very limited. Yeah. So what we're doing
it with this legitimate. We're not going to announce them yet, but a gun range here in Orlando.
Yep.
So we've got all the details pretty much nailed down, but it's going to be when? Have we set a date?
Yep, we set a date, the 23rd of April. So set your clocks. It's a Saturday. It's going to be a 3-hour class from 6 p.m. Nope, from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. So it's kind of that.
That's a good time of day.
Yeah, it is. You got your morning to do whatever. You wake up, you get motivated, and we are going to provide lunch. Not only are we going to provide lunch, it's going to be Porky's Barbecue from our buddy Steve White out of Apopka. He's going to supply us some lunch. So we're going to have pulled pork. We're going to have baked beans, dirty taters, and nanner daggone pudding. Steve makes the best nanner pudding. So if you're in Apopka and you do eat up there this week, let Steve know that you're excited that you're going to take the concealed class with us and
That's
have
cool.
his lunch.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
yeah, we're going to provide lunch, and it's all going to be in the cost. We're going to shoot that up on the website this week.
Give you all the details. The things you do want to know is April 23rd. Start marking it down now.
Yes, April 23rd.
3 to 6 p.m.
Yep, on a Saturday.
Limited space.
Very limited, so
and
we'll throw that up there. Do not bring a firearm. They will supply them.
Right.
Well, I mean, you can. It'll be at a gun range, so you could bring your firearm.
Sure,
just
sure.
leave it in your vehicle while we do the class.
And cost.
Cost will be $60 per person.
Okay. That's a good price.
That is a good price.
Including lunch?
That's including lunch. Did I tell you about the nanner pudding from Porky's?
I've never had it, but I've heard a lot of good things about the nanner pudding.
Steve is actually excited to work with us. He's been
cool.
He's been hounding me forever to do something with us. So we're glad to have Porky's be a part of this. We are 100% excited over it. We will be releasing the place of the gun range this week. And, of course, it'll be on the details once we get it up there.
Yep. Details, I think we're going to have the ability to actually go to the pay online in a secure fashion.
Yep,
So
you just pop on there and
like
we'll have
downtown.
100 ways to do it.
I love our events that we do.
I do too. And we're going to set an event for it.
Definitely highlights in my year for the.
So, yeah, we'll set an event. So if you follow us if you subscribe to our event page, you'll see it there as well. I'm excited. I'll be there as well every single minute. Even though I do have my concealed weapons license, you can never get too much safety. I've been to several of these classes.
Do they expire? Well, I guess they do.
Yeah,
'cause
they expire in 7 years.
7 years, okay.
Yeah, but if you renew it before the expiration date, then you
just
don't have to go
extend
through the spiel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But if it expires, you got to go through all the fingerprinting, the whole 3-month thing. You got to do it all over
you
again.
can keep it current.
Yeah, if you keep it current, you're in good shape.
Okay.
So I let mine expire, and that was the whole reason I had to go through the whole spiel.
Makes sense.
So we're going to post it. I'm excited. Mike's excited. You know, our executive, phenomenal producer set it up for us. She's excited.
I love it.
So, yeah, we're going to be working with Porky, so we're definitely excited with that. Thank you so much, Steve. We're absolutely glad to have you be a part of that for sure. So, Mike, you got anything else?
Nope. Time is up. We got a little bit late start, but we're running a little bit late, so we're right on time.
So we're right on time.
And if I'm not there in 15 minutes, just read this text one more time.
And as my mama said 18 million times, and I pray I get to say it half as much. You kids get outside and stay.